I did not I mean, I actually did realize that the AI companies had money and lobbyists and were willing to spend. AI is real. This job displacement phenomenon is going to affect people of every geography, every political alignment.
All right, well, as we close out the year, 2025 is done. It is very natural to take a look back, and our American Congress has had a record-setting year. It just hasn't set any good records. Here's what they've done. With fewer than 40 bills signed into law as of Monday, the House and Senate set a modern record for lowest legislative output in the first year of a new presidency, according to data maintained by C-SPAN and Purdue University. Despite that lack of productivity, the Senate held more roll call votes, 659 of them, than any odd number year this century, with almost 60% of them focused on advancing President Donald Trump's nominations to the executive and judicial branches. So other records that Congress has set in 2025 include these. The House, meanwhile, set a 21st century record for fewest votes cast, only 362 in the first session of a 2-year Congress. It held barely half as many votes as in 2017, which was Trump's first year in office and when the Republicans held the majority. And perhaps not surprisingly, an unusually large number of House members, 24 Republicans and 19 Democrats, have decided to leave the chamber either to retire or run for other office. That places the chamber on pace to set a 21st century record for retirements in one Congress, according to C-SPAN and Purdue. So the reasons for this seem to be the obvious ones. It's that Trump has decided to rule primarily by executive order this term. Congress has kind of just passed the big beautiful bill, and then they were like, okay, we did it, we're done. And of course, you have Speaker Johnson, who has been running interference this entire time for Trump as his right-hand man in Congress. He has constantly shut down the House to block votes. And in fact, he actually set a record himself doing so, because we experienced a 43-day government shutdown this year. Congratulations to us. So they're not only not doing a whole lot for Americans, but honestly, that seems to be kind of relative, because they are doing a lot for American corporations, and Trump's big, beautiful budget bill was a big part of that. For instance, the artificial intelligence industry is planning to buy off their share of politicians, and they've announced that they want to do this, and so it's not a secret. This entire year, they have been pushing for a federal moratorium on AI that would wipe out state-level regulations, and this month, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that does exactly that. Meanwhile, the AI companies are setting their sights on Congress, and here's this according to the Washington Post. The largest of the pro-AI super PACs, Leading the Future, has a war chest of more than $100 million from prominent investors and executives. The day after Leading the Future was announced in August, Meta revealed its own super PAC. The company announced a second super PAC in September. Meta has donated tens of millions to each group. So Leading the Future has connections to the Trump administration, and it's funded by a venture capital firm by Andreessen Horowitz. Mark Andreessen, the firm's co-founder, is of course a Trump advisor. You've heard his name before. Joe Lonsdale, a co-founder of Palantir. When the people tell you who they are, believe them. They name their company Palantir, which is insidious. Anyway, so Joe Lonsdale, he and his friend, he's a friend of Vice President JD Vance, and they're also funding the PAC. And then you have Mark Zuckerberg. He has been very tight with this administration ever since Trump got reelected. And now the AI industry is launching an all-out siege warfare on our government. But it's not exactly an original strategy. So the strategy aims to replicate the success of the cryptocurrency industry, which used a super PAC to clear a path for Congress this summer to boost the sector's fortunes with the passage of the Genius Act. So we're gonna find out if that worked. Cenk, there's a lot going on here as far as the cryptocurrency industry, but also the AI industry, and they're really just forcing this on the American people, and our government is complicit in doing this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so this proves exactly what we've been telling you on the Young Turks. And so I said, look, Trump's gonna promise X, Y, and Z. When he gets into office, there's only basically two things he's gonna do. One is tax cuts for the rich, boom, nailed it. Over $4 trillion in tax cuts for the rich and for corporations. The easiest prediction in the world, I should get no credit for it. You should all know it by now. By the way, the next time a Republican wins, it doesn't matter if they call themselves a populist or establishment, it doesn't matter. They're gonna pass another $4 trillion tax cut for the rich. It is literally what they do every single time. So number two is deregulation. And so not only have they broken a record for no real bills passed, right? And for executive orders, so they're just shifting all the power to the executive branch, so Trump can more easily give away money to donors, and not do any real legislation, not any real democracy. But on top of that, they've broken a record for the most amount of deregulatory actions. As an example, in 2009, Barack Obama as president withdrew no regulations that George W. Bush had put in. This year, Trump repealed 22 pieces of legislation that involved regulating his donors, corporations. And what are the regulations about? Oh, boo, regulations are always bad. No, regulations are often about worker safety, community safety. They can't dump poison into your local lake, etc. No, all the brakes are out of the car. This is complete corporate rule. The Democrats do it more subtly. The Republicans are totally over the top on it. And they gave you exactly what we told you they were gonna give you. Nothing for the average guy, nothing. But instead, what you got was massive deregulation so corporations can continue to rob us blind and put us in danger, and giant tax cuts for the wealthy and for the corporate world. And finally, by the way, don't forget, Yaz brings up AI, and it's a good point. They're the new donor class, so they're now bribing all the politicians legally, according to the Supreme Court. And so what do they want? They want their data centers backed up, and they want you to pay the electricity bill, by the way, for their data centers. They want subsidies, they want the government to back them up. The crypto guys bought almost all the Republicans. And by the way, an important number of the corporate Democrats, they spent a ton of money on Democratic primaries, buying corporate Democrats and Democratic leadership. And all of them together have deregulated crypto, deregulated AI, given them subsidies, given them breaks. This is not capitalism, guys. This is corporatism. This is corporate rule. Don't forget, Noble Mobile is saving you a ton of money. So a lot of people are signing up now and beginning to realize, what the hell, why am I paying so much to Verizon and AT&T? So your bill's only $50 a month, but it can actually be less because they give you money back if you don't use your data. So if you're paying more than $50, there's no reason to not switch. It's crazy not to switch because same phone, same number, same contacts, literally nothing changes. TYT.com/switch, TYT.com/switch. All right, we'll be right back. Corporatism hates capitalism, hates free markets. What it does is it buys off politicians and rigs all of the rules to their benefit and against their competitors, against their consumers, which is all of us. So this is what the great American robbery looks like. This is what they do. Nothing for you, everything for their corporate donors.
Yeah, and this is just kind of the way that things are going in this country right now. And it doesn't feel like a democracy anymore because these AI companies and these tech companies are able to pay off the government, get their guy in power. We have JD Vance, who is the protege of Peter Thiel, as our vice president right now. He is in the White House. He is at the top of the executive branch. He's on that ticket. And whatever they want to do, they told us though what they were gonna do, right? We saw all these tech CEOs sitting in the front row in front of our actually elected Congress people at Trump's inauguration. So it was very clear what the priorities of this administration were from the get-go. And yeah, the people, I guess it's our fault for electing Trump in the first place, but this is not really what anybody wants. Nobody wants these giant AI data centers using up all the water in their local areas and then driving all of their electric bills up through the roof that they have to pay, as you mentioned. And I really don't feel like people are paying enough attention to that. And then also like the noise, and then just like they have to clear out land for it. It's all a bad idea. And the thing is, the public is not on board with this. This is not a thing that the American people want, but it is being forced on us. And they're saying, use it, use our stuff. Everything that we interact with now, it's like, oh, do you want to use the AI? It's like, no, nobody asked for that. I wasn't like trying to do anything with AI now, but this is the reality. And hopefully, Andrew Yang has been very outspoken about the AI industry and just like about tech in general, and he has some personal experience there. But he was saying, this is what I was talking about all those years ago when I first started running for president, and I became more known through doing that. But this was a problem that was foreseen, and nothing was done about it.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.